While natural wonders like Niagara Falls and the Grand Canyon are some of the most well-known around the world for their sheer size, the world we live in is filled with mystery and even some things that science can't quite explain yet. Believe it or not, there are some pretty incredible places out there that most of us have never even heard of. Here are the 10 scientifically impossible places that actually exist. Before we begin, subscribe our YouTube channel and ring the bell icon to get notified about our latest videos. InfoAirWorld. Worldwide information. Number 1. Devil's Kettle. On the north shore of Lake Superior in Minnesota lies Judd C.R. Magny State Park. Named for the former mayor of Duluth, the park is best known as the location of the Devil's Kettle. This strange waterfall splits into two due to the rock formations which cause half of the Brule River to continue on and the other half disappears into a pothole. The waterfalls roughly 10 feet before disappearing underground. Researchers have yet to determine where this flow reconnects as dice, ping pong balls and other objects thrown into the Devil's Kettle do not reappear. Since there is no way to determine the channels the water may pass through, it has been deemed too unsafe for people to explore. Number 2. Shanay-Timpishka. The Boiling River. Deep in the Amazon lies a river 4 miles long and unlike any other on earth. The Shanay-Timpishka is so hot that any animal that steps into it gets boiled alive. When a hapless creature wanders in, the ice cooks first, melting in its skull. Soon the animal is in too much pain to keep swimming to safety. Water fills its mouth and lungs, and it is cooked from the inside out. The river gets as hot as 91 Celsius (196 Fahrenheit) and scientists aren't completely sure why. Normally, water that gets this hot is fed by a volcano, but this one is 700 kilometers removed from the nearest one. There is a theory, though. Scientists believe that boiling hot water from under the earth cracks through fault lines and heats up the river, making the water a geothermal system unlike any other on the earth. Number 3. Pestilent Lights. In the rural central of Norway over the Hesdalen Valley, floating lights of white, yellow and red cross the night sky. Known as the Hesdalen Lights, they appear at when it's dark and can last anywhere from a few seconds to longer than an hour. The lights sometimes move at an incredible speed and slowly at other times, seeming to float in midair. Since at least the early 1930s, people have spotted the lights and hypothesized what could be causing them. Some researchers believe they may be caused ionized iron dust, but tests have not been conclusive. Number 4. The Petrifying Well. It's a place where water trickles down a cliffside that looks like a skeleton's grinning face, and where anything you place under the water will turn to stone. The process usually takes 3 to 5 months, but you can leave anything you own under the trickling water and, when you return, it will be stone. People have left everything from teddy bears to bicycles there, and everyone has been transformed into a statue. For a long time, people believed that the well was cursed by a witch. Scientists today, though, have found that the water just has an unusually high mineral content. As a result, it creates a hard mineral shell over anything it touches, just like how stalactites are formed in caves. Number 5. Bermuda Triangle. Located in the western part of the North Atlantic Ocean, the Bermuda Triangle is a loosely defined triangle between Bermuda, Florida and Puerto Rico. According to the US Navy, there is no such thing as the Bermuda Triangle, but they cannot explain why aircrafts and ships have disappeared in this region in the past. While many ships frequently pass through and commercial and private aircrafts routinely fly over, there is the odd time when they simply seem to vanish. There are some that believe the disappearances are tied to the lost city of Atlantis, which they believe lies deep beneath the tropical cyclone-rich area. Others believe that magnetic anomalies may confuse compasses in the area, causing crafts to become lost. Number 6. Lunacy. The park that goes underwater every spring. In Austria, there's a park with beautiful hiking trails and benches you can jog through any autumn morning. If you visit in the spring, though, it's a little different. In fact, you'll need scuba gear. The park is near the Hochschwab Mountains, which get completely covered with snow in the winter. There's so much snow on the mountains that, when it melts, the park's lake doubles in size and drowns the park. If you swim through it in the spring, you'll see benches and bridges under the water. Even some of the alpine flowers, which normally only survive above the surface, will bloom under the water. Then, partway through the summer, the water starts to recede, and the park emerges from underneath. Number 7. Doubletree. Between the towns of Grana and Cozzozo in Piemonte, Italy, there is a rather unusual sight. On the side of the road, fenced off due to its uniqueness, is a large mulberry tree with a cherry tree growing through the center of it. While parasitic growths of trees caused by birds dropping seeds have happened before, they tend to be quite small before dying and being expelled from the host tree. The unusual thing about these trees is that they are both perfectly healthy and have branches that expand over 5 meters across. It has become known as the double tree of Cozzozo, and it has survived for quite some time in its certain state. Number 8. The Beacon of Markable. The never-ending lightning storm. In western Venezuela over the Catatumbo River, there is a storm that never ceases. Starting at 7 p.m. every night, lightning crashes over the water for 10 hours every night, 260 nights each year. Nobody knows for sure why it happens. Up until recently, the leading theory was that it had something to do with uranium in the bedrock, although scientists are starting to doubt it. Today, the leading theory is a complicated one. It posits that the shape of the mountains causes warm trade winds to collide with cold air from the Andes. That collision is then fueled by the rapidly evaporating water below and methane from a nearby oil field. Nobody actually knows for sure, though, why it happens. Everything about it is mysterious, including one moment, in 2010, when it inexplicably stopped. One day, the storm just died down without explanation, and seemed, for a while, to be over. Then, after 6 weeks of silence, it sparked up again, and has been raging ever since. Number 9. Cover Ijane. In Indonesia, a sulfur mine was built in the side of a volcano, but there's no danger of eruption. The volcano itself is dormant, but at night a neon blue substance spills down its side, flowing like a river of lava. This phenomenon is caused by the sulfur being mined from within the volcano. Heat causes the sulfur gas trapped inside to build up and escape, causing blue flames to shoot up to 5 meters into the air. The gas then semi-solidifies into a liquid form and flows down the mountain. Once it hardens, it is mined by the workers. The sulfur in the air is toxic and gas masks need to be worn to remain safe, but many workers cannot afford them and use wet clothes instead. Number 10. The Blue Pond of Hokkaido. The Kool-Aid-colored lake. On the Japanese island of Hokkaido, there is a lake that's unlike any other in the world. The water is a unique, electric shade of blue that shimmers and changes its shade when you look at it from different angles. As the seasons change, the water changes color even more, shifting through shades of blue and green. The lake was actually man-made. The locals set up a dam in the area and set up a reservoir where the water blocked by the dam could collect. To their surprise, though, the water it collected changed color. Scientists believe that the water's strange color comes from aluminum hydroxide particles that have mingled in with it. The particles reflect blue light unusually well, making its reflection of the sky above far more vivid than any body of water anywhere else on Earth. Thanks for watching. Drop a like. And don't forget to subscribe InfoAirWorld YouTube channel.